First of all, as a student of environmental law, it is a very defining moment. If you think about Rio 1992 and the opportunity that we've seized 30 years later, that it took the leadership of President William Ruto and our country to bring this conversation home. Like the president said, and it's been said by many of the speakers, those of us who are the least emitters of CO2, of carbon dioxide, and green gases emissions, we are actually the most affected as a region and as a continent. But what I like about this conversation, and if I just pick from what the civil society was saying there, for far too long, we've become a continent that is lamenting. We've been writing many chapters on books of lamentations. This conversation that has happened in our country, first of all, being the first of its own kind, is an achievement. Number two is that it's not structured in terms of lamentations. It's actually about solutions to the issues that we are going through. The third thing about this conference is the fact that it does not focus on the historical divides. Like the president framed it, it's not about us versus them, it's not about the north versus south, emitters versus those who don't emit. It's about, it doesn't matter who does it, ultimately the rest of the world is going to suffer. And if the world suffers, all of us will suffer. The last thing is that even in that structure of conversation that we are having on this very important issue, is that we are not structuring ourselves as receivers of gifts or basically waiting to be rescued from the furnace. Instead, it's been fashioned that we want to sell the opportunities that we have. We are saying we are the solution to the problems of emission of green gases that has affected the world. We are not giving this solution to benefit Africa alone, but we are going to be the solution of the entire world. And we have been able to really locate and document the benefits that comes with investing in Africa. You know, talking about the potential that we have, the resources that we have, exploitation of those resources, not to benefit us as Africa alone, but us being the solution to what's affecting the world. And therefore, structure ourselves in a manner that we can be able to receive investment instead of receiving aid. So it's not about aid, it's not about donations, it's about what is the potential that we have for investment that we can receive that investment. And last thing I'd like to say, just taking advantage of the conversation that the civil society had, is that we are not telling the world that give us a gift. We are telling them that we have a resource that needs to be developed and an investment to that resource. Even though there's a conversation about reparation, about salvaging the world that has been affected, the drought that we go through. But the fashion, the line that we took is, here we are. We are ready for investment. We want you to invest in, and when you invest in Africa, because you have the capital, you've polluted the world, you now have the money, we can no longer do the same thing again and again. Come ye and invest in Africa and let us solve the problems, not of Africa alone, but the problems of the world. And that is really what's very profound about this conference.
And speaking about doing the same things again and again, Dr. Kalua, let me bring you in there, because a lot of